Reading 4:31-4. Tamaghatam tautaya pranipatya pinandyacha bhujaya hitva yata desham sushakshinam atha bruvan. Tam, to him, agatam, appeared, te, all the prasetas, utaya, after getting up, pranipatya, offering obeisances, abhinandya, offering welcome, cha, also, pujayitva, worshipping, yata, adesam, according to the regulative principles, sukha asinam, comfortably situated, ata, thus, abruvan, they said. As soon as the prasetas saw that the great sage Narada had appeared, they immediately got up even from their asanas as required. They immediately offered obeisances and worshipped him. And when they saw that Narada was properly seated, they began to ask him questions. Kindly respond. As soon as the prasetas saw that the great sage Narada had appeared, they immediately got up even from the asanas. As required, they immediately offer obeisances and worshipped him. And when they saw that Narada Muni was properly seated, they began to ask him questions. Purport by Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. It is significant that all prasetas were engaged in practicing yoga to concentrate their minds on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prasetas uchuho swagatam is a Sanskrit word, is swagatam. Huh? I think when we do puja also we chant this mantra, no? Swagatam, yeah? Claim Krishnaya Swagatam, like this. Swagatam te surasrishiyatya distya no darshanam gataha tava cha ankramanam chankramanam chankramanam brahman abhyayata ravehe. All the prasetas began to address the great sage Narada. O great sage, O Brahmana, we hope you met with no disturbances while coming here. It is due to our great fortune that we are now able to see you. By the travelling of the sun, people are relieved from the fear of darkness of night, a fear brought about by thieves and rogues. Similarly, your travelling is like the sun, for you drive away all kinds of fear. Purport by Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Because of the night's darkness, everyone is afraid of rogues and thieves, especially in great cities. People are often afraid to go out on the streets. You just understand that even in great city like New York, people do not like to go out at night. More or less, when it is night, everyone is afraid, either in the city or in the village. However, as soon as the sun rises, everyone is relieved. Similarly, this material world is dark by nature. Everyone is afraid of the danger at every moment. But when one sees a devotee like Narada, all fear is relieved. Just as the sun disperses darkness, the appearance of a great sage like Narada disperses ignorance. When one meets Narada, or a representative a spiritual master, one is free from all anxiety brought about by ignorance. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnanam Jnana Shalakaya Jakshadan Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamam Dadati Swapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajim Shadvitam Shabadhutam Bhajanam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shravanam Pita Devi Pranamami Hare Pri Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaram Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Samiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So thank you once again for joining in our program. So you can see how the importance of a pure devotee. Pure devotees are more valuable association compared to anything else, compared to even demigods. Mostly demigods are also devotees, we don't say. But demigods are more into giving material benefits, whereas the devotee is here compared to the sun. The moment he manifests, then all darkness or ignorance is destroyed. Krishna also said that in the Bhagavad Gita. Do you know? Do you know that he also said in the Bhagavad Gita? Anyone knows? Hello? Where in the Gita he said? Where in the Gita he said it destroys all this darkness. Nasyami 10, 11. So the Lord says, I am seated in the heart and with the shining torchlight up. Tesham eva anukampartam aham ajnanajam tamaha nasyame atma bhavastu jnana dipena baswataha. This verse is in the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in the heart, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. So Krishna is so powerful that he is compared to shining lamp of knowledge. Yes? So wherever there is Krishna, there cannot be any ignorance. And here the devotees are similarly also equipped. They are also representatives of the Lord. Not only the Lord, So all kind of ignorance cannot persist when the Lord is present or His devotees are present. Okay? Even here is another verse. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Andankara Yahan Krishna Nahi Maya Re Adhikar. What is that verse? 23? 22:31. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Haya Andankara Yahan Krishna Tahan Nahi Maya Radhikar. Krishna is compared to sunshine and Maya is compared to darkness. Wherever there is sunshine, there cannot be darkness. As soon as one takes to Krishna consciousness, the darkness of illusion, the influence of the external energy will immediately vanish. Do you understand this point? Huh? 5:16. Yeah, by the shining sunshine of Jnanena tu tad ajnanam yesham nashitam atmana tesham adhya aditya va jnanam prakashayati tat param. Whenever one is enlightened with the knowledge by which Nisayan is destroyed, then his knowledge reveals everything, as the sun lights up everything in the daytime. So this knowledge by which a Nisayan is destroyed must come from the source. It can only come from either the Lord or His representative. Yes? So wherever the Lord is there, then Maya cannot be there. Right? Maya is what? Back. Maya is also compared to shadow, no? Chaya yesya vivanani vibharti durga. She is shadow, chaya. So she is not actually, she is more on the darker side, You cannot be in front of the Lord. This is explained here also. Ignorance cannot be in the front. Bhakti yogena manasi samyak pranihite male apasyat purusham purnam mayam tat chatat apashrayam. See that? Mayam cha tat apashrayam. Thus he fixed his mind perfectly, engaging it by linking it in devotional service, bhakti yoga, without any tint of materialism. And thus he saw the absolute personality of Godhead along with his external energy, which was under full control. So Maya, here he saw Maya, but she was not in the front, actually she was in the back. So the Lord is so powerful that the appearance of the Lord, all these impurities cannot manifest. Another place here you can see just as the atheist cannot remain in the presence of the personality of Godhead, so also the innumerable sins of a man are immediately vanquished in your presence. O great saint, O great mystic. So the moment the devotee comes, then they cannot have any of all this. Just like the example is given, just like an atheist cannot remain in the presence of the personality of Godhead. Atheism is compared to, some phone is ringing. Atheism is compared to? Yeah? Nastic. So you are Nastic means you cannot stay with God, correct? A Nastic will never come in front of you. Yes? Correct? So here you can see how a devotee is also classified like that. So Narada Muni came and immediately all ignorance is gone. Just like if you come to the temple, then all your Maya is gone. Is it not? Hello? Unless you are so powerful, you carry yourself with it. Because the devotees, they carry the Lord in the heart, no? Correct? So because the Lord's presence drives away ignorance, so because they are carrying the Lord in the heart, so wherever they go, they sanctify that place. You know? What is that? Tirtha Kurvani Tirthani? 1:13, is it? So you can see here, because they carry the Lord, Bhagavad Vidha, Bhagavatas, Tirtha Bhuta, Swayam Vibhu, Tirti Kurvanti Tirthani, Swanta, Stena Gadaprata. My Lord, devotees like your good self are verily holy places personified. Because you carry the personality of Godhead within your heart, you turn all places into places of pilgrimage. You see this point here? Because you carry the Lord in the heart, so there is no Maya.
Same thing is said in Narada Bhakti Sutra. Same thing is said in Narada Bhakti Sutra. NBS 69.
How you go to that?
You have to search NBS page 69.
NBS what?
69.
Same line.
The readings are
Tirti Kurvanti Tirthani.
Sukarmi Kurvanti Karmani Satshastre Kurvanti Shastrani.
The association makes holy places holy, works auspicious, and the scriptures authority. So in other words, the devotee is so important because he is carrying the Lord in the heart. You understand? That's why the association is always sought. I think I shared one verse with all of you in the WhatsApp, right? It's what, 4, 21, 24, is it? About that subtlety of prasadam eating in sinful place. Right? Share that? Huh? Is it 4:20, 4:21, 24, is it? Huh? You see here in this verse, it is the Vedic system, therefore, for a householder to call Brahmanas and Vaishnavas to eat at ceremonial performances in your house, because the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas can immunize him from sinful activities. To this point here. But it's not the duty of the rigid Brahmanas and Vaishnavas to accept invitation everywhere. There is, of course, no objection to taking part in feasts in which prasadam is distributed. So the whole idea of calling this Brahmanas and Vaishnavas to the house so that they purify the place. You understand? You throw a party in your house nowadays, what they do? They bring all kind of third-class people into the house, correct? Yes or not? And your house become more contaminated. Yes? Huh? Yeah, there are many subtle laws which are practically unknown to people in general. But the Krishna conscious movement is very scientifically distributing all kind of Vedic knowledge for the benefit of the people in the world. So here there is a duty. If one eats in a place which is very sinful, he shares the resultant reaction of the sinful activities performed there. Okay? See this point here? But if you eat, or you call the Brahmins and Vaishnavas to your house, then the place becomes empty. Correct? Because the devotees are carrying the Lord in the heart. Or even if they are not carrying, they are chanting, their vibration is very purifying. Yes? Correct? So ever the holy name of the Lord is vibrated, then that place becomes yes, sir? It's so powerful because they are devotees, always chanting the glories of the Lord. That's why Prithu Maharaj also say, I want to stay with such people. I want to hear from them your glories. See? What is that verse? 21, where Prithu Maharaj is saying, can you see? That he is aspiring for the association of devotees. 4:20:24, not 21. He's speaking about the mind can become purified. Then another verse beside it, below that verse. It's 4:20:24. You sure?
2024 is 1 million of years.
1 million of years, no. There's another verse that shows that he wants the association of devotees. Yeah, he will come later. That verse is later. But he's speaking to the Lord, no? I want. You got it? 4:20:25, huh? Oh my Lord, you are glorified by selected verses uttered by great personalities. Such glorification are not this verse, no. Not this verse. Of course you can read this. Your lotus feet is just like saffron particles. When the transcendental vibration from the mouth of great devotees carry the aroma of saffron dust of your lotus feet, forgetful living entity gradually remembers the eternal relationship with you. Devotees thus gradually come to the right conclusion about the value of life, my dear Lord, and therefore do not need any other benediction but that benediction be here for the mouth of the pure devotee. Jai. There's another verse because it's giving instruction to the subjects, no? I think it's in 21. Huh? '31 and 32. '33, 34. Whole line here. We'll read this all together. By the inclination to serve the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, suffering humanity can immediately clean the dirt which has accumulated in their mind during innumerable births, like the Ganges water which emanates from the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord. Such a process immediately cleanses the mind, and thus spiritual or Krishna consciousness gradually increases. When a devotee takes shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is completely cleansed of all misunderstanding or mental speculation, and he manifests renunciation. This is possible only when one is strengthened by practicing Bhakti Yoga. Once having taken shelter at the root of the lotus feet of the Lord, a devotee never comes back to this material existence which is full of threefold miseries. Prithu Maharaj advised his citizen, engaging your minds, your words and your body and the result of your occupational duty, and being always open-minded, you should all render devotional service to the Lord. According to your abilities and the occupation in which you are situated, you should engage your service at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead with full confidence and without reservation. Then you will surely be successful in achieving the final objective in your lives. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is transcendental and not contaminated by this material world. But although he is concentrated spirit soul without material variety, for the benefit of the conditioned soul, he nevertheless accepts different types of sacrifice performed with various material elements, rituals and mantras, and offer to demigods under different names according to the interest and purpose of the performance. Thirty-seven. So here, the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are personally glorified by their characteristic powers of tolerance, penance, knowledge and education. By dint of all these spiritual assets, the Vaishnavas are more powerful than royalty. It is therefore advised that the princely order not exhibit its material prowess before these two communities and should avoid offending them. Today you see how important they all were kings, correct? The moment they walk in, Narada walk into the palace, they gave up all their seat and everything and bow down to him. Yes? See how powerful they are. Why they are so powerful? Huh? Is it here? Why? How they are powerful? Because of the characteristic powers of tolerance, penance, knowledge and education. Hello? Huh? They have to have what? Tolerance first. Then they have to have tapasya, penance, yes? And then knowledge. Yeah? And spiritual education, correct? So you see, by this dint of all these spiritual assets, Vaishnavas are more powerful than royalty. Yeah? They can bless someone or they can curse someone also. Just like King Vena, the father of Prithu, he was cursed. Yes? They killed him. By mantra they killed him. And same way by mantra, they can also elevate someone. Then, Guru Maharaj, he was blessed by Narada Muni. So, you do this and you will be able to get the mercy of the Lord. Like this two person were cursed to become trees, no? Yeah, sons of Kuvera, correct? But Narada Muni said, okay, after 100 years you will be able to see the Lord. Yes? The benediction? Yes? So that is because my devotee said, therefore I am doing this, Krishna said. I am not doing because of you, because Narada said so. That's why the potency of the devotee is so beneficial. You follow? That's why to see a devotee, in fact there is a verse that says to see the Lord is easier than to see the devotee. Devotees are more rare. Huh? Correct? Yes? In fact, in that verse where the Lord became, the Lord went with his sons to deliver the, what is his name, lizard in the well. Huh? Murga. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, ancient eternal Godhead, who is the foremost among all great personalities, obtained the opulence of his staunch reputation which purifies the entire universe by worshipping the lotus feet of those Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. This point here. Huh? In fact, I've shown you that verse, right? In the 5th canto, I've shown that this Devata and then Asuras and Indra and then Brahma, Lord Shiva and then Brahma, correct? And then the Lord says, among all of them, they all come from me, but I'm inclined to the Brahmanas, therefore they are higher than everything. Yes? Did I show you that verse? 5 something, the whole thing, you see how the position of the Brahmanas is so important. In fact, the Lord said many places that I eat through the mouth of I am more happy by eating through their mouth than the fire. Is it not? So you see how the position of a devotee, why the Lord is giving so much importance to this. See, he getting this power, he said here, Prithu, that the Lord is getting the power by worshipping the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. See, how exalted their position. But here we are treated like pariahs. Now the sadhus are treated like pariahs, beggars. Yes? The moment you go to the building, the security comes to take you out. Beggars are not allowed. Can you imagine? Yes? Namo Brahmanya Go, Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go, Brahmana Hitaya Cha, this one you chant, no? Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. You chant this prayer, offering prayer. Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the prime protector of Brahminical culture and the cow. Without knowing and respecting this, one cannot realize the science of God Without this knowledge, and any welfare activities or humanitarian propaganda cannot be successful. Okay? The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is everlastingly independent and who exists in everyone's heart, is very pleased with those who follow in His footsteps and engage without reservation in the service of the descendants of Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. For He is always dear to the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, and they are always dear to Him. See the exalted position? In fact, he said, I am sitting in the heart of the devotee, and the devotee knows nobody but me, and I also don't know anybody but them. Yes, sadhava hridaya mahyam, right? Correct? Yes? I think that words must be here, Prabhupada must have quoted here. By regular service to the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, one can clear the dirt from his heart and thus enjoy supreme peace and liberation from material attachment and be satisfied. In this world, there is no fruitive activity superior to serving the Brahmana class, for this can bring pleasure to the demigod, for whom the many sacrifices are recommended. See how exalted to service the worship and serve the devotees. Yes? I mean, I am talking about bona fide devotees. Yes? You can read the purport. This, I think Prabhupada explains the line. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ananta, eats through the fire sacrifice offered in the names of the different demigods, he does not take as much pleasure in eating through fire as he does in accepting offering through the mouth of learned sages and devotees. For then he does not leave the association of devotees. See? Position of devotees. The famous verse, no? Naham tistami vaikunte yoginam hridayeshu va yatra gayanti mad bhakta tatra tistami narada. I am not in Vaikuntha nor in the heart of the yogi. I remain where my devotees engage in glorifying my activities. In Brahmanical culture, Brahmana's transcendental position is eternally maintained because the injunctions of the Vedas are accepted with faith, austerity, scriptural conclusion, full sense and mind control and meditation. In this way, the real goal of life is illuminated just as one's face is fully reflected in a clear mirror. So this is the Brahmanical culture. Worshipping the exalted devotee. Yes? As Krishna is saying here. That's why the Lord, when this Praseta saw Narada Muni come, immediately they got up from their position and they worshipped him. Yes? O respectable personalities present here, I beg the blessings of all of you that I may perpetually carry on my crown the dust of the lotus feet of such Brahmanas and Vaishnavas until the end of my life. He who can carry such dust on his head is very soon relieved of all the reactions which arise from sinful life, and eventually he develops all good and desirable qualities by serving the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. See? Taking the dust. Without taking the dust of the devotee, you cannot go to Krishna. Right? There's so many verses on that. Yes? King Raghughana said, right? Rajabhishekam. What is the beginning one? Prahlad Maharaj also said. Yeah. Padareno. Rajapadabhishekam. So you see here Prithu Maharaj is also saying the same thing, How exalted it is because the devotees are worshipped by even the Lord Himself. The Lord Himself is worshipping such devotees. And He saw when He was here 5,000 years ago, He was receiving Narada Muni and all the sages, correct? Yes? Exalted position of the devotees. Yes? Whoever acquires the Brahmanical qualification, whose only wealth is good behavior, who is grateful and who takes shelter of experienced person, gets all the opulence of the world. I therefore wish that the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His associate be pleased with the Brahmana class, with the cows and with me. So these three things are important. Worship of the Lord, worship of the devotees, and worship of the cows. Practically there is no more cow worship now. There's only cow killing going on. That's why the whole world is messed up. Yes? When you kill the cows, that means you are killing religious principle. In fact, the cow was crying in the 117, chapter 117. Why are you crying? Because you know in the future you will all be killed. That's why you're crying. No, the bull and the cow, they were talking, no? You remember? Hello? What was? 117. You know? You know in the future that... Huh? 117? 14. Doesn't look like this the word. 14. 114? This is not the verse, Hello? Srimad was beginning, no? The cow is crying, the food is crying. 117 something, 3, 4 something. Got it? What? You don't have? So okay, anyway, it's somewhere there. You just find that out. Whoever curses is not the place. After great sage Maitreya said, after hearing King Prithu speak so nicely, all the demigods and the denizens of Pitraloka, the Brahmanas and the saintly person present at the meeting congratulated him by expressing their goodwill. So you can see from here how important it is, the position of a devotee. Yes? I'm sure you also know this verse that we quoted many times. 11 to very rare, 29. But the conditioned soul, the human body is most difficult to achieve and it can be lost at any moment. But I think that even those who achieve human life rarely gain the association of pure devotees who are dear to the Lord of Vaikuntha. See? Right? Position of a devotee is so important, because I'm sure you know these verses that I quoted many times. These are the verses. Just as cold, fear and darkness are eradicated for one who has approached the sacrificial fire, so dullness, fear and ignorance are destroyed for one who engages in serving the devotees of the Lord. Right? The moment you go to the devotees, dullness, fear and ignorance is destroyed. Right? The devotees of the Lord peacefully fix in absolute knowledge of the ultimate shelter for those who are repeatedly rising and falling within the fearful ocean of material life. Such devotees are just like a strong boat that comes to rescue persons who are at the point of drowning. Just as food is the life of all creatures, just as I am the ultimate shelter for the distressed, and just as religion is the wealth of those who are passing away from this world, so my devotees are the only refuge of persons fearful of falling into the miserable condition of life. You see the position of the devotees. This is a very important verse. My devotees bestow divine eyes, whereas the sun allows only external sight, and that only when it is risen in the sky. My devotees are one real worshipable deities and real families. They are one's own self. Ultimately, they are none different from me. So the Bhajan devotees and the Lord are none different. Sakshat Daritvena Namastasana. Sakshat Daritvena. None different. See? Of course, you're talking about a pure devotee. Not talking about some Tom, Dick and Harry. Yeah? So devotee's position is so exalted, just like us. You see how much by the association of Prabhupada, our whole life is transformed. Yes? Just by associating with him, hearing from him. That's why here the Prasetas, they were immediately so much happy. And the next line you see in the next verse, number 7 is it? They say how we almost forgotten. They were given so much time to enjoy the material world. They saw the Lord after they were meditating, the Lord came, correct? And while they were enjoying the material life, they said in the next line, you can see, we shall discuss that tomorrow, I think. Who's going to do this tomorrow? Where? You see how dangerous this material life, although they saw the Lord. Is it 7, 6? 6, I think. Yes. O Master, may we inform you that because of our being overly attached to family affairs, we have almost forgot the instruction we received from Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu. Mind you, they saw Lord Shiva and they sang Lord Shiva's song and they got the association of the Lord. And after getting his benediction from him, now they are saying, you see, the demigods also said the same thing. Do you know? Because of health, 519. Understand? 519 he said, the demigod. Because we are enjoying in the heavenly planet, we have almost forgotten. And it's 529 something, 519 something. See how Maya is so powerful. If the demigods and here the Prasetas speaking like this, we are very powerful. Hello? Huh? Yes? We can, no problem. Maya, no problem. Huh? Yes? As I am Prahlad Maharaj said, many times we go to this way. I am not afraid of your Maya. I am by your form, nourish. I am more frightened of your Maya. Yes? Right? You can see, I think 519 allowed. Huh? 519, 22. This is tomorrow's class, no? Whoever is going to do tomorrow's class. Huh? doing the moral class now, see? The demigods continue. After performing the very difficult task of executing Vedic ritualistic sacrifice, undergoing austerities and observing the vows and giving charity, we have achieved this position as inhabitants of the heavenly planet. But what is the value of this achievement? Here we are certainly very engaged in material sense gratification. Therefore, we can hardly remember the lotus feet of Lord Narayana. Indeed, because of excessive sense gratification, we have almost forgotten his lotus feet. Yeah? The Sages, they saw the Lord. Associated with the topmost devotee, Lord Shiva. Yeah? And they are speaking. See how dangerous sense gratification is. Yes? I forget. And now don't say, we are always forgetting. Correct? Even when we are chanting also we are forgetting. We only remember when this can be finished.
I want to say, ask Gopāl, but sometimes he forgot. Gopāl said, sometimes you remember, every time you forget.
You are always in Maya.
Yeah.
Yes? You see our position? At least they are saying honestly, we are enjoying and we almost forgot. But we have completely forgotten. After the program, forget it. Yes? How fallen we are. Yes? Because Maya is so strong. Moment you take the phone in your hand, finish. Yes? Yes or not? The moment you open your what? How much we are in Maya? Maya's position is so you see how dangerous it is. Yes? Anyway, this you discuss tomorrow. So for today you can see the only way we can escape from this entanglement is to strongly associate with devotees. Without association of devotees it is impossible to come out of this situation. As also said by Yudhishthira Maharaj, 7, 14, 1, 2, right? Yes? Right? So this question was asked, how we stuck in this householder ashram. Maharaj Yudhishthira inquired from Narada Muni. O my Lord, O great sage, kindly explain how we who are staying at home without knowledge of the goal of life may also easily attain liberation according to the instruction of the Vedas. See? How we can also come out of this entanglement. We are daily forgetting, we are forgetting our duty, correct? Yes? Because we are so much engrossed in getting this money, yes? Yes or no? Narada Muni replied, my dear king, those who stay at home as householders must act to earn their livelihood. Yes? And instead of trying to enjoy the result of their work themselves, they should offer this result to Krishna, Vasudeva. How to satisfy Vasudeva in this life can be perfectly understood through the association of great devotees with Lord. There's no other shortcut. If you want to come out of this Maya of earning money and trying to enjoy all these material things, and in this way your progress is going to hell. There are 3 gateways to hell. What is that? Kama, Krodha and these are the three gates to, and that's what we are doing every day. Yes? Mode of passion. So the only way to come out is to take association of devotees. And where you find these devotees? Right? In Takashi Maya. Mustafa. Huh? Where do you find these devotees? Huh? This is a very important verse here. A grahastha must associate again and again with saintly person. And with great respect he must hear the nectar of the activities of the Supreme Lord in his incarnation, as these activities are described in the Srimad Bhagavatam and other Puranas. Thus one should gradually become detached from the affection of his wife and children, exactly like a man awakening from a dream. So, anyway, I don't want to frighten you, but this is the reality. Correct? Any questions or comments on these points? Saintly personalities are the most important people. They should always seek the association. Lava mantra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. Sadhu sangha sarva sadhu. Lava mantra sadhu sangha, 1/11th of a second. Associate with the devotees, your life becomes successful. Life becomes successful means you don't come back again to this material world. You go to the spiritual world where there is no birth, death, old age, disease. If you don't do that, then again you have to take birth. And no guarantee that you can come back in human life again. You can guarantee you're going to come back as a human being? No guarantee. But if you take shelter of the Lord through the devotees, then it's assured. The Krishna also says, you will never come back. Janma karma cham idivyam evam yoveti tatpataha tyaktva deham punar janma nahi te ma eti sodhana. No more birth. Finish. All you got to do is take association of devotees and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Finish. Everything is settled. Alright? So, okay, thank you very much.
There's half a movement association.
Lava mantra.
No, half a movement. Even half is 11 to 30. It says that even half a movement association. That is the price.
11 to 30?
11 to 30. Chanardaho. Chanam. Lasting only half a moment. Therefore, completely sinless one, I ask you to kindly tell me what is the supreme good is. After all, even half a moment's association with a pure devotee within the world of birth and death is priceless treasure for any man. This is the verse after that, 11 to 29. Half a moment. Actually, the next verse also is important. Please speak about how one engaged in devotional service of the Supreme Lord. If you consider me capable of properly hearing these topics, when a living entity offers loving service to the Supreme Lord, the Lord is immediately satisfied, and in return He will give even His own self to the surrendered soul. So this point is,
If the Lord is satisfied, He will return, He will even give His own self to the surrendered soul. This whole line of verses are important. So, okay, anything in the thing, any questions? So I guess we thank you all for your